Hey, what's up, guys? I hope you don't mind me looking like garbage today because I didn't feel like getting fancy. But this is a topic that I personally have really struggled with and kind of wondering if other people have struggled with it too. Probably, I would assume. I would assume almost everybody, if not every single person that has been through this, has struggled with this. So the topic I want to talk about is celebrating after grief or celebrating after losing somebody. And one of the things that I've been talking about recently is, one, can you do it? And the answer is kind of. I want to tell you yes, or I want to tell you no, but the truth is, it's kind of both, really. And it's different for every person. It was different for me, my mom, my dad, and I'm sure it was different for you and other people as well. I lost my sister November 26th of 2018, and as you know, Thanksgiving and Christmas are all right around that, and my birthday is 3 days after Christmas, so there was that, and then her birthday was March, so not too terribly long after that, her 30th birthday, by the way. And I'm gonna be real with you. They all freaking sucked. They all sucked so hard. And I kind of feel like a lot of people were putting pressure on me to make it better and to make it a good holiday. And well, let's just be happy. And I didn't want to be happy, because to me it felt like I was betraying her memory to be happy, because it's like, how dare I be happy with her gone? How dare I be happy without her there? It felt like a betrayal to just be truly happy. But at the same time, like, I'm human too, and I have needs too, and to some degree, I did want to enjoy at least as much as I could. One of the things that I've recently been saying is that for us, and at least me personally, I like to think of it as like your energy level, or whatever you want to call it, is, let's just say 100%. Like, that's you as a human, 100%. So it can be sad, angry, happy, joyful, confused, frustrated, whatever. So let's just say, you have a total of 100% of energy that you can devote to something. And by the way, none of that is wrong. So if it's 10% happy, 90% get the crap out of my face, that's fine. But I'm just saying that you have 100% of your time and energy that you can allot to something. And I think for a lot of people, at least that I've come in contact with, they want most of your time, your energy, your whatever is occupying your brain space to be, I don't know, like 80% at least, or 100% preferably. And, that's fine if that's how you work, but you're not always going to be like that. You're not always going to have days where you're 100% happy. And there's, to a degree, I feel like when you're not accepting that 20% of you that's sad, or 5% of you that's angry, or whatever, you're bulldozing your own feelings, and you're trying to force something that isn't real. So it's like, regardless of where you are, 10% of that's anger, 50% of that's sadness, whatever. That's still 50% part of you. That's still 10% part of you. So you're basically cutting off a piece of yourself and saying that this isn't okay and I reject you. And that doesn't help. That actually makes it worse. At least it does for me. Because when you're saying all those feelings aren't okay, and you're cutting those pieces off of yourself, you're no longer 100%. You're 88% or whatever. None of those feelings are bad. None of them are wrong. It is okay to feel whatever those feelings are, because they're a part of yourself. So what you need to do is take that sadness and wrap your arms around it. Allow it to be whatever it is that it is. I heard this analogy somewhere, and I'm probably going to butcher it, so I apologize, but it's like, when your demons come and they come out to haunt you, sit down and make them a cup of tea, every single one of them. And I never really thought about that analogy, but I really liked it. And I saw another picture of it, and it's like when your demons come at you, and it's like the person and they're just hugging them. And I love that, because regardless of what you may think about it or not, it is still a part of you, and it is still valid. You are feeling that way for a reason. So don't bulldoze yourself and try to talk yourself out of feeling however you feel, because that's real and that's valid, and they are a part of you, and there's nothing wrong with that. And the best way for me is know that when you're having those feelings, that's a compass that's telling you to point toward a need that is not being met, or a need that's being violated or something. So you need to match whatever that is to whatever you need. So for example, I didn't want to be happy. I wanted to be sad for a while, but there were things that I wanted to do that I felt like made it feel more okay. Not that it really was okay, but it was like taking those pieces of myself and allowing them to be present with me, and not beat myself up over that and just trip myself up over it. But at the same time, just because you're, sitting with them, hanging out, having tea, doesn't mean you have to turn that 10% of sadness into 500%. Like, you don't have to make that your sole focus and like just dive into that and just focus on that and like bring it out and drag it out and whatever. No, it might be a little bit, it might be nothing, but just let it be whatever it is. You don't have to go spiraling. And I think that's what a lot of people are afraid of, is that, oh, well, if one little teeny tiny thing happened wrong, well, I can't talk about it because then it's going to spiral and then it's all going to be wrong. And that's not necessarily true. And I think the more that you try to fight it and avoid it, the worse it's going to get, and the more it will spiral. But let me give you some examples so you can kind of hopefully track what I'm trying to say. When Christmas came around, I didn't want to celebrate Christmas at all. But I love Christmas. It's my favorite holiday because I just love how pretty it is. I love how happy it is. I love all the twinkling lights, and I love all the colors, and I love Christmas trees and decorating and all that. And the house that I live in currently, that I'm renting by the way, it's not a gigantic house, but it has peaked ceilings in the living room. Vaulted ceilings, is that what they're called? I don't really know. It is like this, and it's very steep. So normal ceilings, I guess, are what, 7 feet tall? I don't know. Don't come for me. But the middle of my ceiling is probably like 12 feet. I don't know. Meaning that I could have a giant Christmas tree if I wanted to. And I've never been able to have a giant Christmas tree before, because every other place that I've been in, every house, apartment, whatever, has always had like normal ceilings. And there haven't been gigantic houses. So went and I got the biggest Christmas tree I could find from Home Depot, I think. It was either Home Depot or Lowe's. Probably Home Depot. Anyway, I remember this kid, and by the way, this entire time, I'm like just trying not to burst out into tears in public, because I was really good about just bursting into tears randomly at this point, because like it had been less than a month from her funeral. So me just like being out in public and not crying was like, I'm doing okay. Which sometimes, I'd be out in public and just burst into tears and just, just walk around and just like, okay, well, this is life right now, which is fine, by the way, because you never know, the kindness of strangers, you never know. But anyway, I remember this little kid saying, wow, they must have a really big house. We didn't, but I didn't want to be like, no, my sister killed herself, so I just decided to get a really big tree for Christmas this year. I was not going to traumatize the poor kid, but I thought about it. Yeah, but, that was one of the things that actually made it better, because it made it part of what I wanted. Like, I didn't completely avoid what I knew I would actually want. So I was kind of, just trying to do whatever little steps I could to make it, part of me, and to incorporate that into part of me. And, kind of like what I was saying earlier, just because something might be 78% good or 78% happy, it doesn't mean that you can't take all the enjoyment you can out of it. Like, for example, like those days now, I know they're going to suck. So I don't have to being like, oh, why can't I just enjoy whatever? Why can't I just do this? Why can't whatever? No, it's fine. Like, she's missing. She'll always be missing. She'll always be gone from us. You know, I know she'll be in our hearts, but it's not the same. And everybody who's lost anybody knows it's not the same. And, you know, but I will take whatever enjoyment I can out of it. And that's okay. For her birthday, I decided that we wanted to celebrate. We got her a cake from Publix and wrote happy birthday on it. I don't think we're going to do that again. It's just because it was her 30th in the first one, you know, after that we just decided that that's what we wanted to do. And then we all got together. We all shared some of our favorite stories about her and like looked at some pictures and just cried together. So obviously, you know, birthdays are hard, but do whatever feels right to you. For me, I didn't want to be alone, and I did not want my parents to be alone, but I didn't want it to just be sad. You know, I wanted it to be all of it. You know, it was going to be sad, but it was also going to be, we could remember our favorite things about her. We didn't just have to focus on one or the other. We did both. And that felt really good. You know, as good as it could. And another thing is I like to have items from them that remind me of them, like always. Sometimes I don't like to have it in my face just because it's too hard. Like for a little while I had a Facebook picture of me and her. I had to take that off because it was just popping up too much and I just couldn't deal with it. Maybe one day I'll change it back. I don't know. We'll see. But I stole this shirt from her room. Anybody who knows me knows that I don't do John Deere or camo or Browning or any of this. It's got like a camo deer on the back of it. I don't know, whatever. But that was her thing, you know, which was funny because she was like a super girly girl a lot of the times, and then half the time would just wear like John Deere camo. Like, what is this? I don't know. Her favorite color is pink and camo. Which I don't think she's ever gone hunting in her entire life or done any farm work that I'm aware of, like other than some like minor stuff, but hey, whatever. Yeah, so that was another thing that helped me. Talking to people, being with other people is something that I like, but sometimes I like to just be by myself, and sometimes I just like to do things, and you know, whatever it is at the moment is fine. Basically, what I'm just trying to tell you is it is possible to celebrate after, but don't feel any pressure to be one or the other. It's gonna be both. You know, there's gonna be milestones that happen that she's gonna miss out on that I'm gonna be so sad about. Having a kid for the first time, having any of my kids, knowing that my kids are never going to know their aunt or know, like, they're not going to have cousins on my side, that's, you know, going to hurt. So anything like that is only, it's not going to be 100% happy. But that doesn't mean that I have to be upset about being upset or trying to force myself to be happy or any of those things. Or try to force myself to be sad. That actually was a lot harder for me to let go of. Was letting it be okay that I was happy. Because like I said, I didn't want to be happy. I wanted to hold on to whatever pain or whatever anger I could because I felt like I was betraying her memory. Because it was like, how can I be happy with her gone? Like that was just my attitude for a while. And that did eventually fade. And the truth is, I know that my sister wouldn't want me to just stay sad. She wouldn't have wanted me to be sad at all. But that's just how she was. You know, she didn't want anybody to be sad. But, you know, I can't help what I am or what I feel sometimes. And neither can you. And that's normal, and that's right, and that's okay. So, do what you need to do. Celebrate as much as you want to celebrate. Don't celebrate as much as you don't want to celebrate. You know, try to pick things that aren't hurting you or hurting another person, of course. But sometimes we just need to sit there and hold ourselves or hold, you know, a friend or have a friend hold us or, you know, your loved ones, whoever. Treat your emotions like you would treat a little kid, like an infant or something. Meet all of the needs that it's presenting. Know that all of this is okay. It's not bad, it's not wrong. You feel the way that you feel for a reason, and don't run your back on it. You don't have to let fear or sadness or anger or any of that control your life. You can make a conscious decision about what you do with it, but don't run away from it. Don't try to numb it or abuse it or anything. It's real, and it's okay. So if you have anything you want to share in the comments below about how you may have celebrated, or if you have any questions about like, well, here's what's going on, how should I handle this, feel free to talk in the comments, talk to each other, talk to me, talk to anybody that you want to. That was one thing that I did also, is I posted on a group that I follow on Facebook, like, hey, this birthday is coming up, do y'all have any suggestions? Some people said to write notes to her, some people said to light candles, some people said to do those lantern things, where like you write on the lantern and then set it off. So feel free to drop any hints and comments below. I want us all to be able to be there for each other and know that I'm here for you guys as best as I can. I'm not very popular yet, or probably ever, I don't know, we'll see, but know that I'm here for you, and you're not alone in all of this. So I love you guys. Have a great week.